Hey guys, how's it going? It's Barry here. How's it going, everybody? So today I thought I'd continue more with story time with Barry, and this time I'm here to talk about more of my YouTube stories, and this time it's about 2008, but there's also a couple of details I forgot to mention in the last video when I did 2007. So I'll start off with that though, first of all. Yeah, in 2000, at the end of 2007, I had a username with Barry 2003, 2007, and I absolutely hated it. I think I was more thinking about the internet sort of type stuff, and I was thinking to myself, I don't like it anymore. And I like to use my first name, but I'd rather use my full name. So when in November, like I think this was around about this time, around about 17 years ago, might have been a bit before, I decided though to go with my real name in terms of doing YouTube content. And that's what I decided to do. I started off doing, eventually doing channel recommendations with the idea came from, after when I did a channel recommendation on someone named Full Awesome Distro, or Alan, as I know him as. And he loved the idea. He said, just go ahead and do that. That would actually be a really, really good idea. So I started to do all these different channel recommendations. And around about that point, I was also unemployed as well. I had no job. I felt like, well, at the beginning of 2008, I should say, because at the end of 2007, I still had work and that, but, I was deeply, deeply unemployed by the beginning of the year in 2008. And so in 2008, I carried on with the channel recommendations, did videos like nearly every day. And it was a bit easier back then because, with YouTube, it wasn't really corporate at that point. It was more, it was trying to be an independent website that was completely different. I mean, YouTube had started to become a little bit corporate, but it wasn't quite there though yet. And I was able to do that for a bit. And people were impressed in that. And so around about that time, the YouTube partner program started over in the UK, like in early 2008. People were invited and all that sort of stuff, and they got their partnerships, which was no problem. Everybody that actually had to have it, yeah, they did get it. There were one or two people that couldn't get it back then. Now, bearing in mind, I'm talking about in the past context. Charlotte McDonald, who was known as Charlie at the time, the problem with Charlie was he was 17 at the time, and you had to be 18, though, to become a partner. So he had to wait a little bit longer for his partner membership and all that. But they did find a way through saying, oh, we'll pay the money into his mum, and then once he turned 18, he would actually get the whole money spiel or something like that. I could be wrong about that. That's the information I've heard. So he got the partnership, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to apply for it. I thought, why not? And I've been under the Barry Aldridge name for like 6 or 7 months. Had a YouTube channel, and I tried the first couple of times and got rejected. And so friends were asking me online about how I was actually doing, at that time. And I said, yeah, still getting rejected, guys. Sorry, and all that sort of stuff. And said, try one more time. I said, I will. I'll try it one more time. If I don't get it, I'm done. I'm done with it overall. So I did the partnership thing. And amazingly, they did. Miles Dyer, who is now part of this PlayStation Access sort of thing for VR games, for PlayStation VR games. At the time, he led this subscribe to Barry Aldridge movement. I was like, what the hell is this? They found this weird picture, which I so regret posting online, of me doing this pose that looked like I'm a fucking porn star or something like that. I'm not kidding. It looked like I was a porn star, and I was like, oh, God. I was in this red Nike top. But anyway, they did that, and everybody took part in it because they wanted to help out. And then, sure enough, the very next day, I got my partnership membership got in, and this was around about early May of 2008. And this was like 7 months of me having a YouTube channel, which is unheard of, which is absolutely unheard of. At the time, I didn't think of anything of it. I was like, wow, I'm a partner now. I can actually earn money or have banners over the YouTube channel sort of thing. And, I had my issues with banners because, I don't know, it just made you feel like a brand or something like that. But that's just me, really. I regret some of that stuff during that time. And I do regret it, though, today, nowadays. Do whatever you want to do with banners or something like that. I was a bit of an idiot back then. I did a rant on a video at like 5 a.m. in the morning one time. But anyway, I got the partnership, which is actually really cool. I still carried on with the channel recommendations and that. And I was getting a little bit burned out over certain things. I did so many different type of videos. And then round about later on in the year, I had probably the biggest high of my YouTube career at that point. Well, YouTube thing, or YouTube experience, I should say. I did a video to someone named Little Rich. He was asking people why did they join YouTube. And I thought, why not? And I did a video response. And here's the thing about it. YouTube at around about that time, they weren't accepting responses of being on the front page, featured, which nowadays it's now known as trending videos. But back then it was known as featured, and then it became spotlight, and then it became trending. I prefer it when it was called featured or spotlight rather than trending. I mean, I can understand why trending is kind of like an important word, but to me, not a big fan of it. But, you know, like I said, I'm old school. So I did a response in that, and I remember Charlie's video, who's now known as Charlotte, did a rule in a video that got them big, saying never do a video response, and it was like how to get featured on YouTube, which was a parody sort of thing, but the YouTube staff in the UK loved it. Everybody around the world loved it. I saw the video like many months afterwards, after when I discovered Charlotte's videos at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a really, really smart video. And it turned out I broke one of those rules to get on the front page of YouTube. That was absolutely insane. What actually happened with the story behind that was I did the video on the Thursday. Then Friday, I was messing about and sort of thing. And it was my mate's birthday that particular weekend. This was like late October. And, you know, I was only going to stay up there for one night, you know, go to this club in Croydon in South London. Whether it's like Surrey or South London. I call Croydon South London. I always will call it South London. So we went there. We had a good time there. It was an 80s club. And I stayed over with my best friend and that. And then his family offered me to stay over there. The problem was I was wearing the same clothes for a few days. So we'd go to different places where I stunk like a skunk. As soon as Monday morning came along, and this was the day I actually got featured, I really stunk. And my mum said, yeah, you really stink like hell. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So I had the shower, went back upstairs to my bedroom, turned on my computer and found out I got featured on the front page of the UK website. And I was so chuffed, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. And it was for this particular response video. Well, as you know, everyone has a mixture thing. Oh, he was a YouTube mole or whatever. Absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. Some of my family were a bit upset with some of the comments that people did. And I kind of ignored it because I knew what it was like, because I've seen how the other YouTubers responded and how you actually deal with YouTube comments. Nowadays, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to handle online hate comments. The number of people, even in the mainstream, they highlight those who don't know how to handle it, and I think it's unbelievable. But yeah, my folks were really, really upset, and I don't blame them for that. But however, though, my mum started to understand like a little while later in 2009 about why I did this. There was this YouTuber by the name of Miss Kaz who did this video called Keyboard Warriors. She watched it. It was actually featured on the front page, and Mom was like, oh, that's why you never answered to. That's why you kind of left them in and kind of ignored them. I said, yeah, that's what it is. You're rising above that sort of situation. And my mom kind of got it afterwards. But yeah, I do understand about why she didn't like it at first, but I think she got it eventually, though, in the end. And the same thing with my dad as well. So all my family got it, though, in the end. I think they just found that a bit hard to understand. It's like, yeah, if you delete the comments or you're trying to censor it, it feels like you're letting them win. But I think there are sometimes people can go a little bit too far in comments, but, you know, everyone has their own takes on it. So I had that little buzz. I took a little bit of a rest from YouTube for a little bit, and then I did another video. I think it was like a couple of videos. I did a thing in early November, and then around a few days afterwards, I did a Barry Aldridge Ask, where I asked people about what's this, what that. And I said, what was the first YouTube channel you subscribed to? And the video was... and I said it was a little Karibo. And then within a couple of days, I got featured on the Australian, Canadian, and New Zealand YouTube front pages. That was absolutely insane. So within 2 or 3 weeks, I was featured nearly everywhere on YouTube. Because I had a lot of my Australian friends, they didn't leave comments about what the video was. They were just congratulating me. I was like, what's going on? And then I had to look at the statistics. I went, oh my God, I got featured down here? Seriously? Wow, that was insane. And I couldn't believe it. So I had to take another rest. Just maybe a little bit of a shorter rest, but it wasn't that bad. I'll be honest with you, the hate comments down there, I only had one. That was it. One. Because he couldn't understand about, was I saying free, as in getting something for free, or the number free, which is understandable though, really. But you know what? It wasn't really a hateful comment. But man, audiences down in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand's YouTube's a little bit more friendlier. Absolutely insane in that. So, so anyway, and then a few weeks later, I took part in this thing called Project for Awesome. Now, I did a Project for Awesome video for the Vlog Brothers back in 2007 when I did not know about them, and I channel recommended them, and during a certain period, they actually subscribed to my YouTube channel. I was like, holy shit, the Vlog Brothers actually subscribed to my YouTube channel. I don't think they are nowadays, but I don't really care though, really, to be honest with you. So I did a Project for Awesome video for 2008 for the National Autistic Society. Had this rapping dog in there as well, you know, kept it short and sweet to the point because I knew there was going to be a ton of videos. I actually got what was going on. I thought, you know what, keep it to like a minute and a half. I know there's a lot of people that would like to explain about their own charity. For me, it was more about just explain the charity, why I supported it. And if you want to know more, go into the description where it was there or there, you know, whatever it was though back in the day. And sure enough, though, the Vlog Brothers commented on the videos. John liked it. And then I got promoted like hell. And then I think it was just before Christmas on December the 20th. I was going to go out to Brighton and buy, I think it was Sonic Unleashed on the PS3, which turned out to be not a bad game. And I got featured on the global website right near the bottom, thanks to the Vlog Brothers. And that was it, really. And then I started to keep going with these YouTube videos. And yeah, it's kind of insane, though, really, as well. And then I got to know, like, YouTubers like Mikola, Bill TV Macon, who are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You know, no question about it. So, yeah. And I ended up my 2008 with some other things as well. I was riding high, and then after that, it does go through certain things where, you know what, I achieved every single goal that I wanted to do on YouTube. So anything beyond with YouTube was more of a secondary thing in the future. So whether it was like 2000, I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve, which was absolutely insane. But there were some things I still got between 2009 up until 2011. And then I'll talk about some of the later days as well. So that's it. That's my 2008 of YouTube. I know a bit of a longer video, guys. Sorry. I know I'm trying to keep them short, but man, a lot of stuff happened in 2008. So I'll speak to you guys pretty soon. Have another YouTube story next week. Try and speed these up a little bit, you know, in a way, so I can get them done, though, before I go back to work, though, in December. Anyway, take care of yourselves, guys. Peace.